first, mobile is hot, continues to be hot, so we have some emphasis on mobile, as you can tell. So our next two speakers are from MobiTV on key understandings in mobile app analytics. So please help me welcome Ashok Swami and Mahesh Masupulati.
I will do an introduction of myself. Mahesh, and I manage platform at MobiTV. Most of the presentation will be done by Ashok, and I'm here for technical.
Great. My name is Ashok Swami. I'm a senior product manager at MobiTV for the Business Intelligence Group. So it's a bit of a coincidence, actually. MobiTV and TiVo are actually competitors, but that's a complete coincidence that we're just presenting on the same panel, right, one after another. So just to give a quick background on MobiTV before I get started with this presentation. So MobiTV provides video delivery platforms for companies that have content and want to deliver a video service. And what I mean by a video service is a service much like Netflix. So we provide the platform, and we either have a hosted model or a deploy, operate, transfer model where our platform can be used to deliver that video and also enable the content discovery. So what we've done over the last year is we've built in some more richer analytics into our platforms. And we've leveraged Google Analytics as our analytics platform. So we use a combination of Google Analytics and Tableau for our reporting needs. We use both of them. We use a lot of the out-of-the-box reports that we get from GA, and any other more richer visualizations and calculations that we need to do. We pull our data out of GA using BigQuery and present it in Tableau. So let me start this presentation off with some of the analyses that we've done using GA. So before I get started with showing some of the actual reports, it probably makes sense to give some context as to what we were trying to do in MobiTV. So one of the things is that our video service is used by several carriers throughout the U.S. And internationally. So for example, T-Mobile, Sprint, Verizon, AT&T, Deutsche Telekom all use our platform to power their video services. And the data I'm presenting is from one of the carriers, which I won't name. But we recently launched that application. And one of the first things that we wanted to analyze is, of course, the purchase flow. And in our application, we basically built out there's basically three different purchase flows. And I guess the most intuitive one to understand is actually the last one at the bottom there, the third purchase flow, which is a user just goes, opens up the Android application, opens our app, goes to the menu, comes to a list of content packs that they can subscribe to, clicks on a content pack, and then subscribes to that. And they, of course, get a successful confirmation. So that's probably the most easy to understand purchase flow. And what we found is that using Google Analytics, we found that that particular flow is actually getting less than 7% of all the conversions. The top two flows were, the top one is actually the most common flow, and that one was actually a flow that's initiated by a content playback attempt. So what happens is in the application you have all these, you have a catalog of all this great content that users can watch. And when you go into a content item, users can actually hit the play button, but if they're not subscribed to that content item, what's going to happen is it's going to take you into the purchase flow. So that's really the flow number one. And we're noticing that 93% of all of our conversions actually happen through that first flow. And what's interesting about that is that it really paints the picture to us that what's really interesting to users is not the content packs, like for example, the Espanol pack or the sports pack or the general entertainment pack. It's not those packs, but it's really the content inside of those packs, the Fox News or CNN or Seinfeld or Scandal or something like that. Those are the shows that are really people are interested in watching that, and that's what's actually driving the conversions. So here's basically the data that we used from Google Analytics to support that type of insight. So what we did is in Google Analytics, you have the behavioral flows by the screen views, and there's an ability to actually click on a particular screen and explore the flow through that screen, all the incoming traffic and outgoing traffic. So we basically associated a screen with the actual the purchase completion or the actual successful conversion. And we actually have a screen visit associated with that. And when all I had to do is go into Google Analytics, click on that particular screen flow, or click on that particular screen and say explore the flow, and I can get a nice little flow sequence like this. And again, this is where that data has come from, saying that 93% of all these successful conversions are happening through that first flow, and the remaining 7% are coming through the second and third flows. And we're also seeing through the screen visits that really only 1% of our screen views are actually going, are represented by users who are going to that flow that we thought was most intuitive, where they look at all the list of content packs and subscribe to it from there. We're finding also the other insights we get from this is that 84% of our visits to this screen, to this initiation point through flow 1 is actually dropping off, and the remaining 16% is the one that's actually going through the conversions. So we've discovered a lot of this data, and we've taken a lot of actions within the company to improve this. And some of the actions we've taken are, figure out what is the content that's actually driving these conversions. Because if we can figure that out, we can take that content and promote it more within our marketing section to gain more conversions. And also optimizing the purchase flow to make it more easy for users to actually figure out what it is they're actually buying, and resulting in more conversions. And lastly, the other thing that we found that's really interesting is that 75% of all of our conversions, our purchase transactions, are happening on the content pack that has a free trial associated with it. So really highlighting that trial content pack in our marketing tiles is one of the key actions that we've determined. So the next slide, this is actually taken from a visualization from Tableau. As I mentioned, we're actually pulling data from BigQuery into Tableau and doing some visualizations there. And here, this is showing some of the most popular content that's watched on this particular app. And as you can see, Fox News is probably it really blows everything away in terms of live channels. So it definitely wasn't a surprise for us when we found out that most of our user base, the geography is from like Texas or Washington, D.C. So that's another key thing we found through Google Analytics. So the interesting thing about this is that having a way to measure the content popularity tells us the effectiveness of the different marketing campaigns that we're running inside the app. So we have a section inside of the app for marketing tiles, and we're able to see whether the tiles that we have in there are actually represented by the popular content. And in this case, what we found is that the campaign we were running that time really wasn't really very effective. So we used the data from this to actually switch out the campaign and put in more of the popular tiles, because ultimately that really helps drive the conversions. The next one here is one of the standard graphs capabilities you can do with Google Analytics. And this is basically showing engagement in terms of unique users and sessions, as well as in-app purchase transactions. And as I mentioned previously, we're actually capturing the in-app purchase transaction as a screen visit. So we can actually do a graph on how many visits happen to that particular screen to see the purchase transactions that, over time. So one of the things that we found out is this particular graph was run over from middle of January to end of February, and it's showing that we had usage on like key days in the calendar, like Super Bowl Sunday and Valentine's Day and the Oscars and all that. And this was previously an insight that we really weren't aware of. So what we've decided to do going forward is our marketing team is going to put forth a calendar for the next 6 to 9 months and figure out all these key days in the calendar and really aggressively market to those days and create really relevant marketing campaigns inside the application for those particular days. So, for example, Valentine's Days, we might be promoting, some romance type content, and the sporting event days, we might be promoting, various sporting events. So this is another key thing for us. And then lastly, Google Analytics is very good at giving you information on crashes and where they're coming from. So we were really able to use this to figure out what are our most common exceptions that are happening. What we can see here is that 73% of our crashes are really being caused by 2 exceptions, right? So we gave this to the engineering team, and they prioritized a fix for this. And these pie charts that we get from GA really show us pretty good information about where these crashes are happening, which screens they're actually happening, and across over time how those trends are. So we've really been able to use GA, BigQuery, and Tableau together to really drive a lot of improvements in our application experience. Okay, and that's it. Great.